Hey there, welcome back to Midlife and Glowing. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nicole, and today we're diving into a topic that couldn't be more timely: boosting your immunity for the coming cold and flu season.
Exactly, and as we're moving into the holiday season, we're around more people, at family gatherings, work events, kids' activities, and that means more exposure to germs.
And let's be real, midlife women already have a lot on their plates. Stress, hormone shifts, sometimes not enough sleep. Those things alone can put a dent in your immune system. Add sugar from holiday treats and cocktails, and suddenly your body has to work even harder.
But here's the good news. You don't have to just cross your fingers and hope you don't get sick this winter. There are actually a lot of things you can do right now to strengthen your immune system so you can go into the season feeling resilient and supported.
So let's start with why immunity deserves extra attention in midlife. Our immune system naturally changes as we age. Scientists call this immunosenescence. Basically, the immune system gets a little less efficient over time.
So you might have already noticed that cuts take longer to heal or colds hang on longer than they used to. And if you layer perimenopause or menopause on top of that, hormone changes, your immune system can feel even more sluggish.
Yeah, estrogen in particular actually supports immune function. When estrogen declines, some of that protection goes with it. That's why supporting immunity with lifestyle tools is so important for women in this season of life.
So if you're feeling run down, catching every bug your kids bring home, or noticing it takes forever to bounce back, that's a signal that your immune system needs some extra love.
Okay, so let's talk sugar, because this one is huge, especially around the holidays. Studies show that consuming high amounts of sugar can suppress your immune system for hours afterwards.
Right, I remember you always telling me, hey, if you're sick or feeling like you might, or you're around, your kids are sick, cut the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've heard it for years now from you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, dang it, I don't want to cut the sugar, but it's true. It literally reduces the ability of your white blood cells, your body's little soldiers, to fight off pathogens.
Yeah, exactly. One study found that after drinking a sugary beverage, the immune system's ability to engulf and destroy bacteria dropped by about 50%. And the effect lasted for several hours.
And think about this. During the holidays, you're eating cookies at the office, grabbing a peppermint mocha, maybe having wine at a party, and that adds up fast.
Yeah, which is why we're not saying never have treats. It's about balance. If you're loading up on sugar every day, your immune defenses never fully rebound. But if you're thoughtful, pairing sweets with protein, swapping sugar-sweetened beverages for healthier alternatives, and adding in immune-supportive foods, you give your body the best chance to fight off what you're exposed to. So while sugar definitely suppresses the immune system, it's not the only thing that weakens your body's defenses. There are so many lifestyle factors that affect how resilient your immune system is every single day.
Right, and some of them are things you don't even think about. So let's go through a few of the biggest ones that the research points to.
Poor sleep quality. Sleep is probably one of the most underrated immune boosters out there. When you sleep, your body releases cytokines, which are proteins that help fight infection and inflammation. Even one night of poor sleep can reduce natural killer cell activity by up to 70%, according to research from UC San Francisco. That's huge. And because hormone changes in midlife can already make sleep tricky, it becomes even more important to prioritize.
Chronic stress is another big one. Long-term stress keeps cortisol levels elevated, and high cortisol suppresses the immune system and lowers antibody production. Studies from Carnegie Mellon University actually showed that people under chronic stress were 2 to 3 times more likely to catch a cold when exposed to a virus.
And let's not forget about the statistic from the Frontiers in Human Neuroscience journal that it's estimated that 75 to 90% of illness is related to the activation of the stress response. And then there's movement, or lack of it. When we're not moving enough, circulation slows in our lymphatic system, which helps move immune cells around the body. Regular, moderate exercise improves immunity, but being sedentary weakens that defense line.
Alcohol also plays a role. It damages the gut lining, depletes key immune nutrients like zinc and vitamin C, and reduces the ability of white blood cells to respond to infection. Studies show even one night of heavy drinking can suppress immune function for up to 24 hours.
Yes, and remember in our breast cancer episode, we talked about the fact that just 1 to 2 drinks a day increases the risk for breast cancer by 30 to 50%, and cancer is essentially an immune dysfunction. So alcohol really can be a problem.
Definitely.
Environmental toxins and pollutants like air pollution, plastics, and pesticides also tax the immune system. They create oxidative stress, which keeps your immune system busy dealing with low-grade inflammation instead of fighting off actual pathogens. And for midlife women, that's especially relevant because many of these toxins also act as endocrine disruptors, adding even more hormonal chaos.
Loneliness and lack of connection. This one surprises a lot of people. Loneliness actually weakens immunity. Social isolation increases inflammation and reduces antiviral defenses. A PLOS medicine meta-analysis found that loneliness increases the risk of premature death by 26%. So that's about the same as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. This just shows how powerful connection is for your health.
That is
That
crazy.
is crazy.
Wow.
Yes.
Yikes.
I need to find some friends.
Focusing on connection.
That is my takeaway for today. Find
Yes,
some
right.
friends. No, I'm kidding. Kind of.
Low sunlight exposure is another one. Getting enough sunlight isn't just about mood, it directly impacts immune health because sunlight helps your body make vitamin D and regulates your circadian rhythm. Especially in the colder months, low sun exposure can really take a toll on your immune resilience.
And your mental state.
Yeah,
I know
definitely.
when I was in the depths of winter a couple years ago, and winters are long here in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I Googled, what is the sunniest place I think it was the world, but it was actually in the US, and that was Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah.
Next up, dehydration. When you're dehydrated, your lymphatic system slows down, and that's the system responsible for transporting your immune cells. So hydration literally helps your body move immune defenses where they're needed.
Next, poor gut health. Since about 70% of your immune system lives in your gut, anything that disrupts gut balance, like antibiotics, processed foods, or chronic stress, not to mention various medications or pesticides, microplastics, so many different things, they also disrupt your immune function. A healthy gut microbiome trains your immune cells to respond appropriately. So dysbiosis means your immune system may overreact or underreact.
Blood sugar spikes and crashes. We've already touched on sugar, but it's worth repeating. Even a single high sugar meal can suppress your immune response for several hours. Chronically elevated blood sugar increases inflammation and weakens your body's ability to fight off pathogens.
And finally, negative thinking and emotional suppression. Your mindset matters. Emotional stress and repressed emotions affect immune regulation through the vagus nerve and cortisol pathways. Gratitude, mindfulness, and even laughter have been shown to improve immune markers because they calm that stress response. So as you can see, it's not just sugar that messes with your immune system, it's the whole picture. How you sleep, move, eat, connect, and even think.
Exactly. Your immune system is like a reflection of your overall lifestyle. Every choice either supports it or depletes it. All right, let's get practical. What nutrients can actually make a difference for immune health?
Well, there are a few that are especially important, so we'll touch on those. Vitamin D. Low vitamin D is linked to increased risk of colds and flu. Many women in midlife are deficient, especially in the winter when sunlight exposure drops. It's really important to get your vitamin D levels tested and work with a health professional on figuring out the best dose for your needs, but it can be really impactful for your immune system when it's needed. Vitamin C, classic immune supporter. This helps white blood cells function properly and fights free radicals. Zinc, this is essential for immune cell development. Even a mild deficiency can increase susceptibility to infections. Magnesium, one of my favorites, supports hundreds of processes in the body, including influencing cell function, inflammation, and immune responses to pathogens and cancer cells. Magnesium deficiency can impair these functions. Probiotics and fiber. Gut health equals immune health. As we've mentioned, about 70% of your immune system is in your gut, so it's important to really hone in on fiber-rich and probiotic-rich foods for gut support.
So this is where food really matters. Colorful fruits and veggies, we've talked about that before. The more colorful your plate, the better.
Yeah.
Citrus fruits, leafy greens, cruciferous veggies, pumpkin seeds, yogurt or kefir, and other fermented foods like sauerkraut. These all help support your immunity from the inside out.
Yes, and foods like garlic, coconut oil, turmeric, ginger, green tea, apple cider vinegar, and herbs like oregano are also great foods to work into your diet when you need more immune support. Whether you're feeling like your immune system is challenged, or you've been in contact with someone that's sick, or you've been around a large group of people, like when you're traveling, for example, these are all times when our chances of getting exposed to a virus goes up. And if you're wondering about supplements, I'm going to share a few supplements that I focus on for boosting immunity. But I just want to say that it's really important to work with a healthcare practitioner or nutritionist to make sure that you're well supported and taking supplements that are appropriate for you. And as a reminder, if you want to work with a nutritionist, you can click on the link in the show notes to book an appointment with a nutritionist on our team. So let's get into a few of the supplements that I lean into when I'm feeling my immune system is more challenged or I've been in contact with someone that's sick. Vitamin D, as we've touched on, is of course really great for the immune system. And as I've mentioned, it's really important to get your levels tested so that you're not supplementing blindly. You want to make sure that you're taking the dose that's appropriate for you. So get your levels checked first, but vitamin D can be a really great supplement for supporting the immune system. Probiotics, zinc, vitamin C, monolaurin, bioactive silver, propolis spray, and curcumin are also other supplements that are really fantastic for supporting the immune system that I tend to focus on when I need more immune support. And then mushrooms, these are also really great for immunity. Whether we're talking about getting them in your food or in powder form or in a capsule form, they offer another really great way to support your immune health.
So nutrition is huge, food is medicine, but let's talk other lifestyle strategies because they can be just as powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. Here are a few. Sleep. As we've already talked about, your body produces infection-fighting cells and proteins during sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours per night. Stress management. This is another huge one. Chronic stress suppresses immunity. Things like breath work, yoga, journaling, all of these calm your nervous system and support that rest and digest healing part of your nervous system. Movement. Moderate exercise improves circulation, which helps immune cells travel through your body more efficiently. And then in that same light, lymphatic movement, whether we're talking through exercise or things like doing a sauna, dry skin brushing, hot foot baths, vibration plates, these are all really great ways to help your lymphatic system move lymph to support better immune health. Hydration. This keeps your mucous membranes moist, which is your body's first line of defense against pathogens. It also keeps your cells strong and resilient, supports better energy, better lymphatic function, and better circulation so you have adequate oxygen delivery to your immune cells. Hydration is a crucial foundation for great immune health. And finally, connection. As we've mentioned, believe it or not, social connection boosts immunity.
So this time of year, it's not just about washing your hands and hoping for the best. It's about creating a lifestyle that makes your body more resilient overall.
Let's focus on some really tangible tools, things you can start doing this week. Start your day with a glass of mineral-rich water. Swap one sugar-sweetened beverage for sparkling water or herbal tea. Add garlic, ginger, and turmeric into your meals. These are natural immune boosters. Diffuse essential oils like eucalyptus, clove, lavender, or tea tree in your home.
And I just want to interject here for a minute because we talk a lot about essential oils. And actually, something that came through my feed was, they're finding toxic things in essential oils. So it's really important that you buy high quality organic essential oils when you do diffuse oils.
Absolutely. They are, if you think about it, they are very concentrated plant compounds, right? And the more you concentrate something, if there's toxins in it, you're going to be concentrating those toxins. So quality, when we're talking about both supplements and essential oils, quality has to be number one. Don't go for the cheap products because they may not be the best quality. When you're talking about things that you're either going to be ingesting or in contact with to support your health, you want to go for quality products.
And we can link some of our favorite quality essential oils in the show notes.
Definitely. Keep movement consistent, even if it's just a 10-minute walk. Wash your hands often and avoid touching your face in public spaces.
Well, we all know that, maybe not all of us know, but I know, and I'm always telling everyone, don't touch your face, don't touch my face, especially. Because also, not just for immune support, but you can get skin conditions, like zits or things like that, bacteria on your face. So touching your face is a big no-no. And don't touch other people's faces. That's just rude.
Yeah, if you think about all of the things that you touch in a day, just door handles or
your phone,
railings, your phone, we have no idea how many different, pathogens.
I think I have a pretty good idea because I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. I'm like, I don't like to touch things.
Yeah, I think we also can have the conversations, since we're talking about immunity, like we don't need to fear all of these microbes because this is what we're talking about our immune system for, boosting your immune system so that you can handle being exposed to some of these pathogens, right? So by focusing on some of these lifestyle pieces, different supplements or foods, getting enough sleep, this gives your immune system the support that it needs to handle exposure to these things. So I do think, yes, I completely agree. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. But also, I think there's, especially probably since COVID, there's a big fear around these different pathogens. And I don't think that's necessary. I think all we can do really is just, do our best to support our body.
Right, and have good hygiene, covering your mouth when you cough and staying home if you're sick.
Yep. One of the biggest immune drains this season is not just germs, it's burnout actually. Late nights, too much alcohol, endless to-do lists, it adds up.
It sure does. I think the best gift you can give yourself is rest. Build in downtime. Say no when you need to. Prioritize your sleep.
Right, because immune resilience isn't just about taking vitamin C, it's about keeping your stress and energy in check so your immune system has what it needs to function well.
So, I joke a little bit about being a germaphobe, which I a little bit am. But I know that germs shouldn't always be something you're afraid of because you need germs to build up your resilience, right?
Yes, absolutely. So when kids are little, it's actually really good for them to be exposed to a number of different pathogens, even though, yes, they might get a cold, they might have an immune response to those pathogens by getting sick. It helps build their immune system. It builds your immune system up. So your immune system basically has the data, if you will, to build antibodies against those pathogens so that when you're exposed in the future, now your immune system has the antibodies against those pathogens to be able to identify that pathogen and kill it. So it's not always a bad thing. In fact, it is a good thing to, get your hands in the dirt and, be exposed to different microbes because you're building your immune system and supporting a more resilient system in the long run, just as long as you're doing the things that we talked about to support your immune response, right? You're decreasing inflammation and you're giving your body the nutrients that it needs, the nourishment that it needs to function well. You're sleeping, you're honoring your stress. All of those things help your body have an appropriate response to these pathogens. So you're absolutely right. It's not a bad thing to be exposed to these things. It actually can support your immune system in adapting and having a healthy response in the future.
Mm-hmm. And we're not saying go and let someone sick cough on you because that's just plain gross. But, don't be so scared. And you're right. COVID really made us all so scared of being anywhere near someone that maybe was sick or, maybe they had allergies, but it's like that conditioned us to be like, oh my gosh, they sniffled, they coughed. Oh, I need to get away from them.
Yeah.
And I remember when the kids were younger and school started up again, they brought home everything. And I was always getting sick with the kids. And now and of course I was much more run down then when they were younger and stressed out and, that kind of thing. My lifestyle was a little bit different then, just trying to keep up and, you're burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
I definitely was. But now I will say that, like we were just with our mom who was sick and I was like in the car with her for many hours and, sleeping in the same room. And I kept up with my exercise. I kept up, with these different things. I took my Monolaurin, I took the silver. I, was doing all of the different things to make sure I was supporting myself in the best way possible. And I did not get sick. And you did not either, right?
No, yeah, I didn't either. Yeah, same.
So
That's so good. Yeah, exactly. And that's the point here, right? Like when you give your body what it needs and support yourself. And I also want to say, like, don't be ashamed if you do get sick either, because it happens to the best of us, and it's a sign, right? Like it's a sign that maybe you are a little bit run down. Maybe your immune system needs a little bit more support. So don't beat yourself up if you do get sick.
Because you're already feeling beat up, of course.
Exactly. It's going to happen. But yeah, if you are able to do what you can to really support yourself well, a lot of times your immune system will respond in a healthy way. So
yeah, I will say that last winter I gotten sick, and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was never sicker, like with a cold. It was a doozy, and I was not really able to make it out of bed for like a couple of days. Like I had a fever. It was just a really bad one. But definitely give yourself grace to take that rest in bed. Like if you're sick, take the rest you need. That is your body telling you need to slow down. You need to take care of yourself.
Yes.
So don't try to push it. That just kind of like drags on the illness, and then you can relapse, and then you're back in bed for 2 days. So definitely take the rest that your body needs.
Yes, it's so, so important. I mean, at the beginning of this, we talked about sleep being the most underrated immune booster out there. And, a lot of times when you're sleep deprived, that's when you end up getting sick. And then, being sick is such an inconvenience. It's so inconvenient. But you are absolutely 100% right. Take it as a cue. Give your body what it needs. So that's huge.
And I'm someone that I am very regimented. Like I have my 5 days, Monday through Friday, that I work out, and I take those days serious. So when I was sick and I'm I was going to try to push it. I'm like, what am I doing? Like that's just going to push, delay getting better. So give yourself grace.
Yes.
So if there's one takeaway from today, it's this. You can't control every germ you're exposed to, but you can control how strong your defenses are.
Focus on lowering sugar, adding nutrient-dense foods, prioritizing sleep, managing stress, and staying connected, and you'll be giving your immune system a big leg up this season.
With the right support, you can feel strong, energized, and ready to enjoy the holidays. Check out our Daily Glow Rituals Guide for daily lifestyle habits that support immunity.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Midlife and Glowing. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to us if you'd follow the show, leave us a review, or share it with a friend who's glowing through midlife right alongside you. Let's make it our best era yet. We'll see you next time.